Claude, which is one of the funniest movies I have seen this year. And I mean, not all of it is great. It's not an instant classic as The Room or Neil Breen has been, but I think that this movie does have a lot to offer. And just to give you an idea of what we're kind of going through with this movie is that the director of this movie is named S. Lee Taylor, or Steve Taylor, and he has a YouTube channel, which I found after I watched a trailer for this movie because the trailer is not listed on his channel. His channel is called Tailored Films, and it features a few things. One being DIY light tutorials.
Hello fellow filmmakers, this is Lily from Tailored Films with another helpful DIY build.
Two being his demo reels for other companies to look at. And three being short films that he's done. That's all tragically bad. You wouldn't guess by his YouTube channel that he would be a feature filmmaker, but that's exactly what he is. In fact, he's been making films since the 90s. His first movie was from 1998, which he cast himself in. And just from then on, he hasn't stopped. And Claude is his most recent effort. It came out last year, allegedly, although it was only made available, I think, this year. It's currently on Amazon Prime, or just on YouTube, so you can watch it there. And it's worth the time, I would say. The movie is both amazing and terrible.
Stay away from Bear Claw Mountain.
Can you hear that clock?
Tell my thousands of Shadowlands subscribers your eyewitness account.
It's freaking loud.
The trouble started about 50 years ago.
Oh! Yeah. And when I say amazing, I mean amazingly terrible and just terrible at the same time. This movie, I think, has potential to be a classic bad movie. This is the perfect movie to watch with a group of friends, as I did.
We need to get back to the trailhead in an orderly manner.
Oh! What is happening? Oh! Whoa, whoa, whoa! Oh my... What is happening? Oh, oh!
All right, everybody, now move on out!
I know. Oh, wow! Oh! And I'm standing in front of this camera here to guide you through the experience of Claude, because I already took that experience, and I filmed myself taking that experience, because after I watched the trailer, I knew that this movie might have something. I said that to myself. I said, this movie's got something, and I don't want to watch it. So instead of just watching it, I propped a camera up in front of me and one of my friends, who is not featured in the video, but he was there, and we watched Claude, and it was life-changing. It was actually life-changing. So Claude is kind of an experience. This is not really a movie in any sense, other than that pictures and sound is displayed on a screen for 90 minutes. This is... I don't know what it is. It's a movie about a podcaster who goes to a sheriff, and the sheriff tells her a story about Bear Claw Mountain, where there aren't any bears, but there are bears.
You're not planning on leaving your site such a mess. You're just asking yourself for some bears.
Wait, okay. In the description, it says that there are no bears. No, in the trailer. The trailer says there's no bears in Bear Claw Mountain. It literally says that. And he just said that they're gonna have bears. The whole movie is about a bunch of people that get attacked by a goo monster until it ends. And it's magical. Did they see it? Oh! This movie has some of the most hilarious special effects I've seen this year. This movie, I think, really has a ego to it. And the end credits kind of confirm that for me. It's not like I took your money. Ha ha ha, suck it. Wow. What a prick. The end credits of this movie come off at like a douchey teenager that thinks he's cool. And the whole movie kind of comes off like that if you watch with that in mind. Because you get hot chicks that take their shirt off for no reason, and you get cool dudes that backtalk, and you get a monster that kills people and it's gory and graphic, except it's not. Get her, goo I'm gonna root for the goo monster. The goo monster needs to kill everyone. Oh! The movie seems to have this confidence in itself to display everything right in front of the camera in glorious wide angles. And it's so funny every time. Every time this goo monster comes to kill somebody, it is hilariously bad. You get terrible practical effects, you get terrible acting, and you get a terrible monster costume, and combine it all into one scene, and you have something truly magical. There are a number of scenes where me and my friend could not stop laughing because of how bad everything was.
Talking. And they're all about as crazy as shithouse rats.
All right.
You all have a nice day now.
That was the worst line delivery. But the thing with this movie is that it is incredibly confusing. I will say that right up front. This movie is a complete mess, as you'd expect with a bad movie, but it is so confusing from basically the first frame. Because you see this podcaster walking down the street and walking into this house, and she sets up a tiny microphone in between her and this sheriff guy who has really bad like scratches on his face and scars, and they have this conversation in a room with a clock that is so loud that it kind of drowns out what they're saying, and it's clear that they are only using an onboard microphone and not the one that's actually in the frame, because there's like tons of room echo, and anytime someone actually does something, the audio cuts, and then they kind of do it with a sound effect. And then we cut from that to some people dying, and then we cut right from that back to the sheriff talking, and then we cut from that to some college students, and you go, who are these people? Why are is this still part of the podcast story? Who are these people? Who was that guy? What's happening? Is it still the podcast story? What is going on? I'm so lost. And then it cuts to a guy with a cane, except he doesn't really have a cane that much, and then he falls in some goo, and apparently the goo is like, it has like healing properties, so he magically doesn't need his cane anymore, but he doesn't even realize that he doesn't need his cane? I can't see what's happening. Steve, turn up the brightness, please.
It's my business. I don't need a fucking babysitter.
Ooh, he's a good actor.
Honey,
What?
you're standing.
Without a cane.
He's not.
Yeah. And then, all while this is happening, while this cane guy is having a midlife crisis, and these college students are wandering around the woods, who I don't even know what they're doing or what they're supposed to be there for. They say that there's like some tremors in the area and they want to study them, but then they just keep finding goo piles and studying that instead. I don't know what they're doing. And then, but all while this is happening, it keeps cutting to random people. And every time I was like, who are these people? What is going on? And it turns out that they're literally just random people that the movie just puts in there. They just show up to die. They literally just show up to die. Every time it cut to them, I kind of just burst out laughing because I knew they were just gonna die immediately.
Makes me want to vomit.
I said I was sorry.
Yeah, who are these people? Yeah, who are these people?
I actually thought we might find someone we
No.
know. I really...
No. Oh, there's just... Yeah, these people are going to park, they're gonna do some things, and then they're just gonna get wiped out.
Jake!
Yes! Yes! Kill her, yes! Take her away. A secret place. A sweet escape. Oh! And that kind of takes us to about the halfway point of the movie where it kind of gets boring. It actually gets pretty boring, and it's a miracle that we got to the end because it gets so boring. There's actually a point when I thought to myself, is this even worth it? Is this actually worth making a video about? Because I got so bored, and the kills that were so funny and gruesome became really tame and lame, and I got so boring. It got so boring. Everything just kind of got dull, and the movie just kind of slogged on. And then the college students, a couple of them meet up with the guy with the cane, and he is having some kind of thing going on with him, like the monster is him, kind of, and then the monster starts breaking down his house, and then he starts hitting with an axe, and they run away into this area with radioactive waste, which we've seen can hurt the monster, or the goo that the monster oozes, like, explodes on it or something.
Hang on.
Oh, wow.
What?
Oh, wow.
So they lead the goo monster to the toxic waste barrel, and then they try to, like, lure it in or something, and then the cane guy comes and hits it with an axe and pushes it in the goo, and it dies. And you think, oh, the movie's over. But then it cuts back to the podcast, which we haven't seen since the start of the movie, and you go, oh, right, I forgot that that was happening. And turns out that one of the deaths of the random people that just show up, turns out that the monster actually raped her. Oh, no. Oh. 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 Oh, he hit the cameraman. Oh, is he raping her? And the podcaster that's interviewing the sheriff is the daughter of the goo monster. In the most amazing twist ever conceived, an Asian girl is raped by a goo monster, and her offspring, born 4 months later, comes to kill everybody else in the woods because she thinks that everyone was responsible for the death of her dad, the goo monster. This is real. And then she kills the sheriff, and that's the end of the movie. And when that happened, I knew that this was worth it. I knew that this movie was worth it. It has the greatest twist ending of all time. And I would implore you, if you are going to watch this movie, do it. Watch the movie with friends that don't know it.
Life for you. You know, it seems to me that you're the last witness to...
She's gonna kill him!
Gun. She's got a gun.
No, she's gonna pull it out and she's gonna have a monster hand. And she's gonna slash him. Yes!
And she was so strong, she held on for 4 whole months until she delivered a healthy baby.
Oh!
It's her! She's the baby! She's the baby of the goo monster! Oh, no way!
That's impossible.
It was a gift from the daddy that she never knew.
Oh!
And he gave her so many gifts. as well as a family debt that needed to be repaid. That's why I'm here, Sheriff. For you. This one's for you, Daddy.
I knew it! I knew it! Yes!
No!
Yes!
No! No! No!
Oh, that's lame. Oh, that's lame! That's just gonna end now. Oh! So she was the daughter of the Asian girl that got raped by the goo monster? I didn't call that.
That's the best plot twist I've ever heard.
But I freaking called that she was gonna be the monster.
That's the best plot twist I've ever seen.
That was amazing. That made the whole movie. And I guarantee you will laugh, you will cry, you'll go through all the range of emotions, and then you'll be stunned in the end. The ending is amazing. This movie is amazing. Everything is terrible. Like I said, it's a confusing mess, but the visual effects are atrocious, which is hilarious. The acting is atrocious, which is hilarious. The special effects, the gore effects, are atrocious, which is hilarious. And then the monster itself is like a rubber monster that barely can move, which is hilarious. So this whole movie is just a masterpiece of bad. And that's another thing, is the cinematography is kind of the most frequent terrible, like legitimately terrible thing about this movie. It actually bogs down a lot of scenes that could have been funny, because a lot of times it's just straight up underexposed. There's some scenes where it just looks black. You can't see what's happening. I can't see anything. Turn up the brightness. Come on, I can't see. No. And that was the whole movie, is just the inability to see a lot of things. And that does kind of ruin a couple scenes here and there, because you can tell something funny might be happening, but you just can't see it. So Steve, or S. Lee Taylor, or whatever your name is, just turn the brightness up on the camera, okay? Just turn it up a little bit. I know you're shooting this with a phone, but just make sure that it's exposed correctly. Don't expose the sky. Expose the people so I can see what's happening, okay? Or just get lights. Get one light like this. This cost me less than $100. Just get a light. I know you got them. I see your DIY videos. Just use them. Use your lights. No one's going to be mad at you for not using 100% natural lighting, like I know you said on set, because you seem like a pretentious douchebag. It wasn't even recorded.
I think you filmed this in Montana. Are you effing kidding? Have you ever seen Palm Tree, Montana? I don't know if I don't think I ended up doing this once in my life. Spokane. I seriously got the Emmy. It's just not the right climate.
What? Get a light. Shoot it with a light. No one cares. Please. I want to see what's happening. But on a final note, I love this movie so much that S. Lee Taylor or Steve Taylor, whatever he makes in the future, I want to watch. I love this movie and I want more. I want more. I know he has movies before this and he has short films before this, and I've seen a couple, and I don't care about those. I want new stuff. Give me new stuff. I want it. Let me watch it. I want it so I can make another video like this. Just keep it coming. I want it. Just give it to me. Come on. But on that note, go see this movie. It's on YouTube. You got no reason not to. Get a group of friends. Get drunk or blazed if you need to. We weren't, and we still had a great time. And watch it. You'll have a blast. I guarantee it. You'll have a great time watching this movie. So, I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.